What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 209, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Patrick Roberts is going on loan to Norwich City for the rest of the season, which is fine with me. He's a 74 overall right midfielder, 23 years old. We actually had him back at West Bromwich Albion, don't forget. He's not really developed too much though, and he doesn't get much game time here, so he can leave on loan. We'll see how he looks next season, and we might probably sell him on a permanent deal, to be honest, in the summer transfer window. Still following that, Borussia Dortmund did accept our bid of £45 million plus Kieran Gibbs for Luke Garber. A really expensive bid, but I think he'll be worth every penny despite how much of an overspend that does seem. But also Alexis Sanchez has left the club. He's joined PSG for £26.5 million. And we had no say in this. Alexis Sanchez told us he was homesick, yet he's going to a completely new country where he's never been playing before. And I could not be more frustrated because that bid of £26.5 million is unbelievably cheap. PSG have got an absolute bargain there for an 89 rated winger, 32 years old or not. What a steal that is for our former club. But I could not be more livid about it because he told me he was homesick. He said that he misses his home, you know, and he's gone to PSG, the French club. He's never played in France before. He's going to a completely new country to play his football, yet he said he was homesick. How does that add up? Alexis Sanchez, you are a liar. And for the board as well to sell Sanchez, our best player in terms of overall, for £26.5 million. What kind of business sense is that? That's absolutely terrible. And yes, I know that we want to build a younger squad here at Arsenal, but that's just dreadful. I could not be more annoyed about that passage of events. You know, I really couldn't. I had no control over it whatsoever, and I've been left very frustrated indeed. And as well, if you guys have ever had a player that's done that before, has told you he's homesick, left the club and gone to play somewhere where he's never played before, in a country which he's never played in before, please let me know in the comments your experiences, because that is just so irritating, isn't it? You know, saying he was homesick and then going to PSG. He clearly just left for the money. He's a traitor. Sanchez is a traitor. Really annoyed about that, but still, we've got to put that disappointment behind us. You know, we're really frustrated about what's happened there. We've lost our best player in terms of the overall, and you know, we've barely got any money for him really. We got scraps for a great player. Very frustrated about that. We had to put it behind us as we had a game against Bury here, lower league opposition in the FA Cup third round. Now obviously the FA Cup, one of those competitions which we would like to win with Arsenal, but the most important thing for us this year is to win at least something. Right now we're in the Champions League round of 16, we're top of the league table, and we're in the Capital One Cup semi-finals. So coming into this game, I did decide to rest 11 players, and to be honest, no disrespect to Bury, but I didn't really think we'd need any of our starters, to be honest, anyway. And all of the chances were coming to us. We did take the lead early on in the game through Rani Unlu, but Bury in the second half did actually come out the blocks flying and would actually grab themselves an equalising goal. Thankfully for us though, it was disallowed for offside, so I was very fortunate here. I thought it was going to be quite embarrassing for me, but Bury did have this goal chalked off for offside, and as you'll see, it was quite a tight decision, but it was the correct one by the linesman. As you'll see, he does just go past the last man there. I think it's Mathieu Debuchy who was almost playing him on, but he was just offside, so it was still 1-0. And in the 70th minute again, Bury came forward here as they went down the right hand side with Hussey. He takes it around Lazzarini, swings in a great cross to Mayer in the centre, and he hits the post, and the ball goes behind for a goal kick. So still 1-0 to Arsenal in this game, but you know, full credit to Bury. You know, they weren't lying down and damage limitation, you know, playing damage limitation football. They were really going for it and trying to grab themselves an equalising goal. But the final chance would fall to us in the 85th minute. Zlatan's regen heads the ball just wide of the post and behind for a goal kick, and it was how the game would finish. So Bury 0, Arsenal 1. We do get the job done. It may not have been the most convincing of victories or the dominant of displays, but we got the job done, and we're going through to the next round of the FA Cup, and that's all that matters, to be honest. And you know, in the last game against Derby, I mentioned, despite winning the game by 3-0, we didn't really do enough. In that game, we didn't do enough. Against Everton, we lost by 4-2. Against Sunderland, we drew at home. Right now, we're in a bit of an inconsistent run, because even when we are getting a result, we're not doing as good as we should, you know, so we need to pick that up. Still, Monaco came back to us regarding Miyaichi and said they weren't going to pay £30 million, so just told us to forget about it, really. So we say fair enough. And also Cagliari once again said the bid for Carboni was not good enough. They want £15 million plus Szczesny, which is a lot of money, and I'm not sure if I want to pay that for a goalkeeper who we can get for free next season. And I don't mind using Chris Ince as a first choice goalkeeper for the remainder of the season, but I would like the 87 rated goalkeeper to come in now, you know, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I'm not against paying £15 million, but we'll have to wait and see. And also Lazari is wanted wanted by Juventus, but of course we say no. Lazzari is going to be staying here. He and Niang are the best strike partnership in Europe right now, so there's no way I'm selling him. And also Luke Garbett does come in and join the club for £45 million plus Kieran Gibbs, and it is a really expensive signing, but he's 4 years younger, he's 4 ratings higher, and you know, look at those technical stats. I mean, my word, that is absolutely like, some of those technical stats are just incredible. So Garbett does come in, and again, you know, did we need him? No. Is he a massive upgrade on Kieran Gibbs? Well, you'd probably say no, but we do want those world-class players. We do want to transition this Arsenal team. We do want younger players. It is a really expensive deal. It wasn't exactly necessary, but I'm not too fussed about it. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking, oh my god, that was such a bad deal, and it probably was, but you know, our aims this year are to make this Arsenal team younger. It's to get better players. Well, it just adds up, doesn't it? So there you go. Garbett comes in. He does make his debut here against Spurs in the North London derby in a Capital One Cup semi-final first leg clash as well, and hopefully he'll put in a pretty decent shift for us. And the first chance of this game would fall in the 10th minute as well, as Paulinho gets on the ball for Spurs and finds Christian Eriksen. Eriksen finds Paulinho. Paulinho finds Eriksen. And after the shot is taken, Chris Ince makes the save. So still Arsenal 0, Spurs 0. And in the 30th minute here, Spurs are on the ball again with Dembele. He plays that wide towards Ben Davies. Ben Davies, the left back, finds Christian Eriksen. The tackle was made, but it comes back to Ben Davies. He picks out Dos Santos, and again, Chris Ince makes the save. So obviously with the interest for Carboni, Ince needs to keep on performing if he does want to stay as our first choice goalkeeper right now. So still goalless, a couple of good saves by Chris Ince. And again, another really good save by Chris Ince. So, you know, right now, Szczesny is on the bench, and Chris Ince plays the majority of our games, and he's been doing pretty well. But of course, with Carboni potentially be coming in the next couple of weeks or so, he's going to need to keep on playing very well if he does want to stay as the #1 goalkeeper right now. But it was still 0-0 going into the break. The first chance after the restart fell to us, but Lazzari was denied by an incredible save by Gelios, and it was still 0-0. And from the resulting corner, Ozil crosses the ball in, looks for Mario Williams, it's headed away only as far as Callum Chambers, who strikes it. As you can see, it takes a deflection, goes wide of the post and behind for another corner. So we keep the pressure on here, and again Mesut Ozil crosses the ball in. Again, Mario Williams is the target, and how about this for my centre back? This is fantastic. Sonny Mario Williams, who was signed from Stoke last year, with a brilliant piece of skill. He's a 6'3" centre back, and that was fantastic. The way he took the ball down on his chest first time, plucks it out of the air, and then smashes the ball in on the volley. Yes, okay, he's pretty much unmarked, to be honest, but even so, that is brilliant. The composure and skill from a centre back, that is fantastic. So it's Arsenal 1, Spurs 0. Sonny Mario Williams gets the goal, and we do take the lead in this Capital One Cup semi-final tie. And of course, as you can see by the team I put out there as well, it was our strongest first 11, and throughout the entire competition we've been playing fringe players, but coming into this game it dawned on me, you know, we're 2 wins away from Wembley effectively and going through to the final, so we may as well give it a go. And of course, being 1-0 up in this game, the team selection was clearly working for us, so still 1-0. And from kick-off, Spurs get the ball away, Lazzari comes forward, but again is denied by a good stop by Gelios. So still Arsenal 1, Spurs 0, but in the first half it was all Spurs, in the second half it was all Arsenal. The cliche is that football's a game of 2 halves, and it was being shown in this game completely. We were dominant in the second half. Spurs really didn't have a sniff at our goal. Gnabry goes pretty close there, but the shot goes wide. But Spurs would have a good chance here in the 66th minute, but how about this for Luke Garbett making his debut? What an interception this is to get the ball away from David Silva, who was going one-on-one. We spent a lot of money for this left back, but that interception was crucial for us to go and win the game. So the final score was Arsenal 1, Spurs 0. We do get the win, and that means that going into the second leg at White Hart Lane, we will hold a slender lead. So very pleased with that. Again, we're still not playing convincing football right now. We're still not looking like the Arsenal that was playing and winning so many great, so many games at the start of the season very convincingly like we were. But we're still getting the job done. You know, we may not be winning convincingly. We may not be winning by 3 or 4 goals anymore, but we're still getting the job done, and that's the main thing. Still following that, again, the Arsenal board come to us and say we're doing a good job, and to be honest, I'm just sick of the board right now. That email just got put in my trash straight after I read it. There's no way I'm keeping hold of that for sentimental value. I'm just so frustrated about what's going on right now. This board has really frustrated me, so I'm very annoyed about that. And also the English FA said they want us to stay on as manager, and of course we're going to say yes to that. And as you can see, the final things you'll see in today's episode are some more transfer dealings. Cagliari once again said the bid for Carboni was not good enough, and I probably will I probably will give in and give them £15 million plus Szczesny. I don't want to do so, but I'd prefer to get him in right now as opposed to wait until the summer. And also the final thing you'll see is that Onyedinma is probably going to leave the club, as he does have a transfer offer here from Nottingham Forest, and we do accept it as well. But that is going to end the episode, guys. So as always, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like. It's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.